by the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikunle Amosun.
This is Celebration TV News at 11 with Sherry Queens-Librima. Here are the news making the headlines. Apostle Suleiman's members celebrated in Dubai for honesty. Ivorian government resumes dialogue with opposition parties. The EU warns Moscow of severe cost of aggression. World Bank approves $700 million credit for Nigeria. We are ready to stage AFCON, insists Cameroon. Do stay with us after this very short timeout. I'll be back with the news in full. Do not go nowhere. You're welcome back. Now the news in detail. A Nigerian cab driver named Abraham Ivorian has been honored in the United Arab Emirates for returning money worth over 12 million naira. Mr. Abraham Ivorian, a cabby living in the United Arab Emirates and working with Sarja Taxi Corporation, has been honored for his act of honesty after he returned 100,000 dirhams forgotten by a passenger in his cab. Though the uncertainty of the incident, but the Nigerian was honored by the organization on Monday, December 13th of 2021. Ivorian, who is a member of Apostle Johnson Suleiman's Omega Fire Ministry, Dubai, has been applauded for his honesty, integrity, and setting the pace for other Christians and Nigerians in diaspora to follow. Despite the controversy, this act of honesty sprouted on different social media platforms. The move is commendable and indeed portrays that there are still good people in the society like Mr. Abraham. And now moving forward from that story. Buhari orders the release of doctors, health workers withheld wages. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, to release the wages of doctors and other health workers. This was held to enforce the no work, no pay rule. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, disclosed this to the State House correspondents on Thursday after a meeting with the President at the Aso Rock Villa. And according to him, Buhari has approved the authority letter to release the amounts due to the resident doctors for September and October 2021. Ngige said the approval also covered members of the Joint Health Service Union who embarked on a strike in 2018. He said the approval for the release of the salaries was on compassionate grounds and to encourage the doctors and health workers to perform better even as the COVID-19 pandemic lingers. The minister revealed that the president also directed relevant agencies to conclude discussions on the order allowances for the health workers. Ngige said the approval also covered members of the JOHESU who went on strike for 3 months in 2018. And now in another development, the ONI launches Foundation for Youth Empowerment. The ONI of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, has launched the Royal African Foundation, an organization designed for youth empowerment and economic emancipation. Oba Ogunwusi, who harped on the need to instill discipline, moral values, the content of character, particularly in the areas of governance and businesses of the country on the vast youthful populace, expressed disbelief in the younger generation to excel if given the needed opportunity. Speaking during the event held at the Oni's Palace in Ile-Ife, the executive director of the foundation, Olusola Owunikoko, explained that the initiative would be used to transform the lives of youths in the country. He said the Royal African Foundation is a strategic platform that has been created by His Imperial Majesty Oni Adeyeye Ogunwusi, and the focus is for them to promote collaborative efforts to empower young people, especially around 5 youth-centric pillars including leadership and governance, technology and innovation, creative culture, entrepreneurship and empowerment, and also academic excellence. In her remarks, INT'L, while the president of the Ascend Studios Foundation, said her group would partner with the Royal African Foundation on a project called Women-Owned Micro Businesses. This would empower 6,000 female entrepreneurs across tertiary institutions in the country annually. And now news coming from around Africa. Ivorian government resumes dialogue with opposition parties. The Ivorian government on Thursday resumed dialogue with 21 opposition parties in a bid to bring unity to the West African country. In attendance were various government officials of the ruling party, former presidents Henry Konan Bedie and Laurent Gbagbo. The head of Democratic Party of Cote d'Ivoire, that's the PDCI, and the Party for African People, that's the PPACI. Patrick Archie is the third prime minister in 3 years to convene these discussions initiated in 2019 and which are entering their 5th phase. The 20 or so political groups present had until Friday evening to send the government their proposals for themes and subjects to be debated. According to Pascal Afi Nguesen of the opposition FPI party, many issues have been pending for a very long time. Ivory Coast is set to have the next local elections in 2023. And news still coming from around Africa. Ethiopia's president hints at national dialogue to end conflict. Ethiopia is seeking more collaboration with other African countries to help it struggle with the ongoing internal conflicts. The Ethiopian Deputy President Sahil Zwidi visited Ivory Coast on Thursday and met with President Alassane Ouattara. Saleh said the situation in Ethiopia is stabilizing and that they will soon have a national dialogue. The war broke out in November 2020 when the Prime Minister Abiy sent troops into Ethiopia's northernmost region of Tigray to topple the TPLF after months of seething tensions with the group that had dominated politics for 3 decades before he took office. Right now, we'll take a very short break. When we get back from that break, I'll be coming back with news update coming from Europe as the EU warns Moscow of severe cost of aggression. I will be right back. Do not go nowhere.
What business are you planning to showcase to the world? That which will satisfy the need of humanity? Of course, with Celebration TV, it will get the desired reciprocation you long for. We are committed to giving your business and services that quality touch of class, and you will be happy you made the right choice by placing that investment of yours on the right platform. Without delay, you can call on this number for your advert placement, partnership, or sponsorship of our programs. Celebration Television, your best bet.
Welcome back. Now news coming from Europe. European Union leaders have warned Russia that action against Ukraine will result in massive consequences and a severe cost amid worries over the buildup of Russian forces on the Ukrainian border. The message, which came after the last European Council summit of the year in Brussels, also mentioned possible restrictive measures against Russia, but no details has been released. However, the bloc also encouraged more diplomacy with Moscow. The Kremlin denies it has plans to attack. Western intelligence services believe up to 100,000 Russian troops are massed near Ukraine's borders. Ukrainian authorities have said Moscow could be planning a military offensive at the end of January, although U.S. officials say it is not yet clear whether President Vladimir Putin has made a decision. And after the summit, Ursula von der Leyen, the chief of the European Commission, which is the EU's executive, said the bloc was ready to impose additional sanctions on Russia. The EU's current restrictions were in response to Russia's annexation of the Crimean Peninsula from Ukraine in 2014. It is not yet clear what the threatened sanctions package may include. A possible target is Nord Stream 2, a new gas pipeline from Russia to Germany, but it is not yet in circulation. Reports suggest that Russia could also be disconnected from the SWIFT global financial payment system. The leaders also expressed their support for the return of a four-way dialogue between Paris, Berlin, Kyiv, and Moscow. They are known as the Normandy format. And our news update coming from USA. The U.S. panel recommends J&J shots be sidelined after clot deaths. A panel of U.S. experts has voted unanimously to recommend the Pfizer and Moderna COVID-19 vaccines over Johnson & Johnson's, which has been linked to deadly side effects. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, a total of 57 J&J patients have developed a rare blood clot disorder. 9 of people are known so far to have died, 7 women and 2 men. A total of 16 million U.S. residents have received the single dose of J&J vaccine. The Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices recommended that the J&J vaccines are reserved for cases where patients are unable or unwilling to receive the more widely available Pfizer and Moderna jabs. The CDC must still decide whether to accept the panel's recommendation. The blood clotting side effect remains rare, with federal health officials estimating that it has been reported at a rate of 3.8 per million doses given. After 57 confirmed cases, 36 were admitted to intensive care units. The deaths ranged in ages from 28 to 62, with obesity the primary underlying medical condition. All the cases so far have taken place within a month of the jab, the vast majority after 9 days. And now news coming from the world of business. The World Bank approves $700 million credit for Nigeria. The World Bank has approved a $700 million credit from the International Development Association for the Nigerian Agroclimatic Resilience in semi-arid landscape project. The bank disclosed this on Thursday in a statement by the Senior External Affairs Officer for Nigeria, Mansur Nasir. It noted that the productivity of major crops in Nigeria had been steadily declining over the past 2 decades, partly due to climate change, despite efforts by the federal government to combat desertification. The World Bank Country Director for Nigeria, Subham, said Nigeria is faced with water scarcity and droughts, which occur every 5 years on an average, with the potential to increase in frequency due to climate change. The scenario not only threatens food security, livelihoods and productivity, but also exacerbates fragility and increases the risk of violence. According to the statement, the CRESAL project is a 6-year strategic project prioritizing actions within dryland management, community climate resilience, institutional strengthening, and project development, also contingent emergency response. And still on business news, the federal government officially asks the UN to recover and return looted assets to Nigeria. Nigeria has submitted a draft resolution to the United Nations Convention Against Corruption on the use of beneficial ownership information and data disclosure to identify, track, recover, and return assets looted or stolen from developing countries. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, announced this while addressing the 9th session of Conference of State Parties in Progress in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. He explained that the draft resolution was submitted jointly with the support and partnership of 5 other developing countries. These countries are Kenya, Pakistan, Peru, and Saudi Arabia. The minister convened Nigeria's appeal to the Conference of State Parties of the UN Convention Against Corruption to consider the draft resolution on its merit in view of its strategic importance in recovering looted assets from developing countries. This came as NERTR announced that a national beneficial ownership register would be inaugurated by the agency and the Corporate Affairs Commission in January next year. Right now, we'll take a very short break. When we get back from that break, it'll be news coming from the world of sports. Do stay with us. I will be right back.
What business are you planning to showcase to the world? That which will satisfy the need of humanity? Of course, with Celebration TV, it will get the desired reciprocation you long for. We are committed to giving your business and services that quality touch of class, and you will be happy you made the right choice by placing that investment of yours on the right platform. Without delay, you can call on this number for your advert placement, partnership, or sponsorship of our programs. Celebration Television, your best bet.
Welcome back. Now, news coming from the world of sports. Cameroon has insisted that it will host the 33rd edition of the African Cup of Nations. This is amid reports that there were deliberations between the Central African country and the Confederation of African Football over a possible cancellation following the outbreak of COVID-19's Omicron variant in parts of Africa. In an interview with Field Goal on Thursday, Bouthi Minsip, a spokesman for the Cameroonian Ministry of Sport, said the country was prepared to host the AFCON, stressing their refusal to postpone the tournament. And now in another sports news. NBA, Vincent leads Heat to Sixers win. Gabe Vincent scored a career-high 26 points and also drained in a career-best 7 3-pointers to lead the Miami Heat to a 101-96 win over the Philadelphia 76ers on Thursday. The Tigers captain was in the starting lineup as injuries and COVID-19 related issues ruled out starters Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Herro, while others such as Caleb Martin and Victor Oladipo are also missing. The Nigerian drained in a clutch 3-pointer with 39.2 seconds to the end of the game to hand his side a memorable win. The game had been tied 96 goals to 96. Vincent led the Heat in scoring, putting up 26 points, 2 rebounds and 3 assists. The 25-year-old has had impressive outings in the games he started this season. He averaged 12 points a game on 49% shooting and 43% when shooting from beyond the 3-point line. Right now, we have come to the end of the news desk on Celebration TV. Just in case you missed out on the top stories, here is a quick rundown of the headlines. Apostle Johnson Suleiman's member celebrated in Dubai for honesty. Ivorian government resumes dialogue with opposition. The EU warns Moscow of severe cost of aggression. World Bank approves $700 million credit for Nigeria. On sports, we are ready to stage AFCON, insists Cameroon. And now we are down to the photo of the day. That photo is clearly saying, do not give up. Don't wait for the opportunity, create it. Opportunities are around you. It is left for you to see and make the move. Create it starting from your mind, because what you can imagine, you can accomplish. Right now, you can do well to share your thoughts about this photo of the day via our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Celebration TV. On Instagram, we are My Celebration TV. On Twitter, at My Celebration TV. And on YouTube, we are Celebration TV. You should bear in mind that your positive contribution to the wellness of the society you find yourself or the organization you work in defines your leadership mark. As an individual who knows what to do and do so without expecting to be pushed back his way to success, let it be known today that everything we do, everything we think, feel and believe either has a positive or a negative effect on humanity and of course our national well-being. Make sure you are a part of nation building today. I am Sherry Quinsley Brima. Thank you for staying tuned on the news desk and do have a wonderful weekend ahead. Goodbye.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor Ibikule Amosu